Gentleman from Alabama.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, I yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Texas.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 2 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I ask unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, so ordered.
Madam Speaker, I rise in strong opposition to this bill because it won't solve our problem. It is said that we are in a liquidity crisis and a credit crunch, and all we need is more credit. The Federal Reserve has already injected over $1 trillion worth of credit, and it hasn't seemed to help a whole lot. Injecting another $600 or $700 billion will not solve the problem. I think one of the reasons why we're floundering around here is that we don't understand the problem, because instead of it being a credit crunch, I think it's a lot more serious than that. And that is, I think what's happening in the market today is signaling something much more draconian, because it's probably telling us that our government is insolvent, that we're on the verge of bankruptcy, and big things are starting to happen, and we don't quite understand it, so we fall back on the old cliches. What we need is more appropriations, more spending, more debt, and more credit in the market. That means more inflation by the Federal Reserve System. And yet, that is what caused the trouble. We want to do this, it is said, to prevent the recession or depression, because that is unbearable. But the truth is you should have thought of that about 10 or 15 years ago, because the financial bubble created by the excessive credit and the lowering of the interest rates is the cause of the recession. The recession is a demand. It's a must. You can't avoid it. Yes, it's been papered over several times over these last several decades, but that just made the bubble bigger. But the message now is you can't paper it over any longer, so the recession and or depression will come. My sincere conviction is that by doing more mischief and not allowing markets to adjust, debt to be liquidated, you're going to guarantee a depression. It's going to be prolonged. The agony is going to be there for a lot longer than if you allow markets to adjust. Liquidation of debt. Let the bankruptcy occur. Let the good assets come up, and let it react. This idea that there's not enough regulation is completely wrong. There's too much regulation and lack of regulation of the Federal Reserve System and the Exchange and Stabilization
Time has expired. Gentleman from Massachusetts.
I know.
If this were a dictatorship, it'd be a heck of a lot easier. Just so long as I'm the dictator.